I'm Daniel, 38M. I had been with my wife, Sophie, 37F, for 12 years, married for 4 of them. We met in our mid-20s, built a life together, shared dreams, and navigated the ups and downs of adulthood. I thought we had a solid, unbreakable bond. She was my confidant, my partner, my everything. We had a comfortable home, stable jobs, and a close-knit circle of friends. Life felt good, predictable, safe. Last summer, we embarked on what was supposed to be a fun, relaxing long weekend camping trip. It was just us and 2 other couples, our friends, Sarah and Tom, and Emily and Chris. We'd known all of them for years. Jonathan, 39M, was part of Sarah and Tom's group, but he was also my best friend. We had been inseparable since high school. He was the guy who stood by me through my parents' divorce, the one I called when I needed advice, the one who knew me better than almost anyone. He was like a brother to me. The trip started off perfectly. Campfires, hiking, cooking outdoors, reminiscing about old times. Everything felt normal, comfortable, familiar. I was relaxed, happy, enjoying the camaraderie of good friends. It was Sunday morning, our last day. We were packing up camp, everyone a little tired but in good spirits. I was loading some gear into the back of my truck, my back to the group, when I heard Sophie call out for a water bottle. I turned, and that's when I saw it. Sophie was bending over to pick up something that had fallen near the picnic table. As she did, Jonathan, who was standing right behind her, casually reached out. His hand didn't just touch her back, he squeezed her hip, his finger sliding down, briefly, to her backside. It was quick, almost imperceptible. She quickly pushed his hand away, a fleeting, almost imperceptible gesture. But then, she turned her head, looked up at him, and smiled. Not a polite smile. Not an annoyed smile. A playful, knowing smile. A smile that said, "You shouldn't have done that, but I liked it." The world tilted. It was a micro moment, perhaps 2 seconds long, but it felt like an eternity. My stomach dropped. It was like I had been punched in the gut, hard. The air left my lungs. My best friend. My wife. The casual intimacy of that touch, the knowing smile. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't innocent. It was a secret language I had just stumbled upon. I quickly turned back to my truck, pretending I hadn't seen anything. My mind was racing, replaying the scene over and over. Was I imagining it? Was it just a friendly, innocent gesture? No. My gut screamed otherwise. The way his hand lingered, the way she pushed it away, the way she smiled. It felt wrong. Profoundly wrong. The drive home was filled with a suffocating silence. Sophie tried to make small talk, but my mind was a whirlwind of suspicion and pain. I was quiet, withdrawn. "Are you okay, Daniel?" she asked, glancing at me. "You're very quiet." "Yeah, just tired," I lied, my voice flat. "Long weekend. Plus, I've got a big project coming up at work, just preoccupied." The lie felt like ash in my mouth. The truth was, I was in shock. I was replaying that brief, horrifying scene in my mind, dissecting every micro-expression, every subtle movement. My wife. My best friend. The 2 people I trusted most in the world. The foundation of my life felt like it was crumbling beneath me. For the next week, I lived in a state of quiet torment. I watched Sophie, trying to find more clues, more signs. I watched Jonathan, trying to see if he acted differently around her. Every casual glance, every shared laugh, felt loaded with hidden meaning. The knot in my gut tightened, twisting into a painful, nauseating ball of doubt and suspicion. I had always trusted Sophie implicitly. The idea of checking her phone, of invading her privacy, felt like a violation of everything we stood for. But the alternative, living with this agonizing uncertainty, was unbearable. I was in a dark place, consumed by paranoia and a profound sense of impending doom. I wrestled with myself for days. I hated the idea of snooping. It felt dirty, disrespectful. It felt like admitting that the trust was already broken. But the image of Jonathan's hand on Sophie's hip, the playful smile, haunted my every waking moment. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. My work suffered. I was a shell of myself. I knew, deep down, that I wouldn't find peace until I knew the truth. I had to cross that line. One evening, Sophie was in the shower. Her iPad was on her bedside table, unlocked. My heart hammered against my ribs. My hands trembled. I picked it up. My fingers hovered over her messaging apps. I felt a wave of nausea, a profound sense of dread. But I pushed through it. I had to know. I opened her messaging app. My eyes scanned the recent conversations. And there it was. A long, extensive chat history with Jonathan. My best friend. My breath hitched. My eyes darted through the messages, and with each line, my world crumbled further. It wasn't just a casual flirtation. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It was an affair. An ongoing affair. 4 months. Explicit messages, pet names, inside jokes, references to secret meetings, hotel rooms, times they had been together when I thought they were working late or out with friends. They talked about me, about how clueless I was, how easy it was to deceive me. They even laughed about the camping trip, about how close we were to getting caught. The emotional weight of this revelation was overwhelming. I felt numb. A deep, aching hurt settled in my chest, a cold, hollow void where my love and trust used to be. My wife. My best friend. The two people I had loved and trusted most in the world had been systematically deceiving me for months, laughing at my expense, destroying everything I believed in. The pain was so profound, so absolute, it felt like my soul was being ripped apart. I don't know how long I sat there, staring at the screen, the words blurring through my tears. Eventually, a cold, hard resolve set in. This wasn't just heartbreak. This was betrayal on a scale I couldn't comprehend. I needed to protect myself. I called my lawyer, a family friend named Ms. Chin. I told her everything, my voice flat, devoid of emotion, as if recounting someone else's story. I sent her screenshots of the most damning messages. She listened patiently, her voice compassionate but firm. "Daniel," she said, "this is clear grounds for divorce. And given the extent of the infidelity, we can pursue an at-fault divorce, which may impact asset division and spousal support." She started gathering information, preparing for the inevitable legal battles. My emotions were still catching up to the brutal reality of my situation, but I knew I needed to act decisively, to protect what little I had left. The days that followed were a blur of emotional turmoil. One moment, I would feel a cold, burning rage, wanting to scream, to smash everything. The next, a profound, crushing sadness, remembering a happy memory with Sophie, a shared laugh, a quiet moment, and the pain would be unbearable. The loss wasn't just of my wife, it was the loss of my best friend, the loss of our shared history, the loss of the future I had envisioned. Jonathan, who had been my rock through so many significant life events, my career changes, my mother's illness, my own personal struggles, was now revealed as a venomous snake. The pain of losing him, of knowing his betrayal, was almost as bad as losing Sophie. I knew I couldn't live with the lie any longer. I had to confront her. I decided to record the conversation. I wanted proof, not just for legal reasons, but for my own sanity. I needed her to admit it, to hear it from her own lips. One evening, after Lily was asleep, I sat Sophie down. I placed my phone on the table, recording. "Sophie," I said, my voice calm, "we need to talk. About Jonathan. And about the messages on your iPad." Her face went white. She stammered, denied, tried to gaslight me, just like she had denied the initial pregnancy symptoms. "What messages? I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy, Daniel." I started reading the messages, line by line, my voice steady, devoid of emotion. Her pet names for him. His explicit fantasies. Their secret rendezvous. The laughter about my cluelessness. Her facade crumbled. She broke down, sobbing hysterically. "I'm so sorry, Daniel. It was a mistake. A terrible mistake. It only happened a few times. I don't know why I did it. I love you. Please forgive me. Please don't leave me." Her pleas for forgiveness, her desperate tears, felt absurd. "A few times, Sophie?" I asked, my voice rising. "The messages go back months. You laughed about deceiving me. You called me clueless. This wasn't a mistake, this was a calculated, ongoing betrayal. How could you do this to me? To us? To Jonathan, your husband's best friend?" She continued to sob, begging, pleading, but her words felt hollow, manipulative. There was no genuine remorse, just fear of consequences. The next day, I packed a bag and moved out. I couldn't stay in that house, haunted by their lies. I checked into a hotel, needing space, needing to breathe. I continued to gather evidence, sending more screenshots of messages to my lawyer, including those that indicated her ongoing relationship with Jonathan, even after I had first confronted her. A few weeks into the separation, just as I was beginning to find a semblance of peace, Sophie called me, her voice strangely subdued. "Daniel," she said, I'm pregnant." My blood ran cold. Pregnant? My mind reeled. We hadn't been intimate for weeks, not since before I found the messages. Before that, intimacy had been sporadic, strained. The uncertainty of the situation added another layer of complexity to my already tumultuous emotions. Was this another lie? Another manipulation? Or was this truly Jonathan's child? The thought of her carrying his baby, while still legally my wife, was a fresh wave of nausea. My lawyer immediately filed a motion for a court-ordered paternity test once the baby was born. A few weeks after announcing her pregnancy, Sophie called me again. Her voice was flat, devoid of emotion. I had a miscarriage," she said. The news left me feeling numb. A mix of relief that I wouldn't have to deal with another child that wasn't mine, and a profound, unsettling doubt. Had she ever truly been pregnant? Was this another lie, another manipulation tactic to gain my sympathy, to draw me back into her orbit? The authenticity of her previous claims, her entire narrative, was now poisoned by suspicion. I couldn't trust anything she said. The miscarriage, whether real or fabricated, added another layer of pain and confusion to an already agonizing ordeal. My journey through betrayal, heartbreak, and the complexities of love and trust has been a harrowing one. Sophie's infidelity, compounded by Jonathan's betrayal, shattered my world. The subsequent lies, the fake pregnancy, the miscarriage claim, it all revealed a depth of deception I never thought possible from the woman I loved. I'm still navigating the painful process of divorce and healing. It's slow, it's messy, and some days, the grief is overwhelming. But I'm also learning valuable lessons about vigilance, about trusting my gut, and about the importance of self-care in the face of emotional turmoil. I'm in therapy, leaning on my true friends and family, and slowly, painstakingly, rebuilding my life from the rubble. Since you made it to the end, you obviously enjoyed the video, so please subscribe, comment your thoughts on this situation and leave a like.